Yo, what's going on, gamers? Your boy, mav-rik here, back with another daily dose. Hope you guys are excited. I'm always excited, man. This is my favorite part of the day. I love these videos, and I love you guys for supporting them. We got some good stuff to talk about on this episode. Really excited. I think we'll just dive into it, right? Just a quick heads up, I saw someone in the comment section of the last video. Well, first off, thank you guys for all the feedback on the question of the day. That was awesome. I go through and I read all that, so I appreciate y'all. Let's do that again for this video. A lot of feedback on this would be awesome, as always, y'all. You know, let me know that you're enjoying this series. Don't just be a lurker, because if you're watching this, especially something daily like this that takes a lot of effort to put into it, it's always important for me to just know that it's reaching people. They're enjoying it, they're entertained, they're blessed, whatever it is. Whether it's good for a few laughs or it's just something that really hits home for you, let me know, man. And if you have a testimony to anything that I'm talking about, sharing it in the comments section will bless people. Maybe someone in the comments can even mention on whether they've been blessed by just someone's encouragement or their wisdom in the comment section. I'm not the smartest person on earth. I guarantee there's somebody that's watching this video and the videos in the past that has more knowledge on a subject than me. I know I got pastors that's watched some of these, and so whether it's biblical or whether it's just something, you know, real life, actual wisdom, worldly wisdom, you might have more knowledge on a subject than me. Maybe it's football, whatever it is, and I think your knowledge could be a blessing to someone in the comment section. So don't think that your comment won't mean something. And someone else mentioned that they're like, oh man, I guess my question didn't get answered. Oh well. You got to realize I'm sitting on over 400 unread emails. That's just unread, and I've already gone through and I've removed some of the ones that I can tell are just, you know, like, hey, play me in Madden type stuff, or some people giving feedback on the show or like suggestions, right? So I've read those, but those won't be a question on the show. And so we got a lot of questions, and I'm trying to answer them in order. So if you've asked a legitimate question that's not like, hey, can you play me on Mutt on Thursday when I go to my grandma's house, it's gonna get answered. I just got to get to it, all right? And I'm going in order for the most part. There is one question that will jump the line in today's video just because of the nature of the question. But again, I'm just working in order, so you guys got to be patient. We're answering 4 or 5 questions a video. I got 400 unread. Let's just say even if half of those were just like spammy, not actual questions, you got to just do the math. You got to be patient with me, all right? And don't let that discourage you from sending your question in. Reach imav@gmail.com, because the longer you wait, the longer it might take to get answered. Again, thank you for everyone. I got a new batch of emails that are very title specific and easy to understand what the question might be about, so thank you. Just make sure you're doing good with them titles. Alright, so let's dive into it, man. We got a really serious one right here. We're not going to say the name. They didn't actually leave the name, and I don't know how to pronounce the first name anyway. So alright, so let's get into it. Love your vids, bro. I just had a question about what I should do, because for the past few years I've just been having depressing moments and events. I've just been having depressing moments and events occurring to me constantly. I got no idea what to do anymore, and I just want to die and not live anymore. The title of the email is Suicidal Thoughts. And this is a really good question for a first question of the video, because I can judge on how much time we have left, because I might rant a little bit on this, but I'm going to try and keep a small answer, short answer here. But first off, let me say I'm going to have a suicide hotline in the description of this video. Make sure I do that when I edit. Oh, shout out to Wifey in the background. What up, Wifey? Yeah, my bad. With them old hospital socks. Them green hospital joints. That's how you know you sick too much, when you got hospital socks on deck. But yeah, I'm gonna have a suicide hotline down in the description. Now I'm gonna give some biblical advice, and I really hope you would accept it, receive it, take action on it, and internalize it. But I also just want to have that hotline there for someone that may feel they're in an emergency and maybe something I say here just doesn't stick for you, doesn't hit home, and you really need to talk to someone, use that hotline, or share it with a friend that you know is going through something. But I would hope that this video has some answers in it that you could also share with a friend, or maybe yourself, that you're struggling with some suicidal thoughts. Now, I will say that this is also another good topic for people that's struggling with this at the moment, or you have in the past. Any kind of suicidal thoughts, it'd be awesome for you to weigh in the comment section, because I know people that go through negative thoughts, it's often that they feel they're the only one, or that no one shares in their pain, that they have like some isolated issue, and there's just no support. No one knows what they're going through, and it would be awesome, I think, and even just encouraging for someone to see in the comment section that they're not the only one. Now, again, don't lie, because this isn't something I would think you should play with. But if you have struggled in the past, you can go in as much detail as you want. But I think that would bless someone on its own, just to be like, wow, I'm not the only one. And if you've overcame it, you could even share how, and some stuff that you've done, right? But again, like I said, even if you're in the midst of the storm and you don't know, you don't have the answers, and you're just as excited for my answer to this question as the person that asked it, again, just letting them know you're struggling with it as well, I think would be a really big help. Now, I've struggled with suicidal thoughts and a lot of negative thoughts. They've never taken root in my life, but I know my wife has been in a really bad struggle with suicidal thoughts growing up, and so I'm gonna have her weigh in her 2 cents here in a little bit. But yeah, so going into it, and of course you should already know I got that biblical worldview, so I'm gonna give you some biblical outlook on this. And for those that don't believe in God, I just want you to keep your mind open to this and just entertain it as I go on my little fairy tale talk, right, about God and all this stuff. So we have a classic battle of good versus evil that we see in almost all the movies, right? You got the good guy, the bad guy. You got God and you have the devil. And I'll just say this before I really dive into it. If I was the devil, it would be so easy for me to get my agenda done, which the Bible says the devil's, if he had a mission statement, right? Like what his goal is, it is to kill, steal, and destroy, and there's zero mercy with that. He don't care if you a toddler, he don't care if you 10. It's not like he waits to like, all right, I'm gonna wait till you graduate and you're grown, then I'm gonna work on trying to kill, steal, and destroy you. He's trying to get to you when you're young, so that you grow up with bad habits, you grow up with these strongholds and these negative, what's the word besides stronghold that I can give y'all? Just these negative belief patterns that you grow up with, and they take root in your life, and they're so hard to rip out, right? You know, that weed that has the deep roots, he's trying to set those in your life when you're young. And you see it with the entertainment these days. Like, he's got these youngsters, he's rooted deeply in their life, and that makes it hard to remove some of these things he's put in there. So there's no mercy. Again, he's trying to kill, steal, and destroy you, me. And the thing is, whether you believe in God or not, that is his goal. But the scary part is that a lot of people don't believe in him, so that makes it so much easier for him to move in their life. He wants you to die and go to hell. That's his mission. And so I like to use this analogy. It's not the best one, but I think it still paints the picture. Let's say you're sick with some sort of bacteria, and there's a medicine that'll knock that bacteria right out. I mean, it'll cure you, heal you like that. And that bacteria stands absolutely no chance against the medicine. Like, it's not even close. If you were to get that medicine in your system, that bacteria would be wiped out. But you don't believe that you're sick because of that bacteria. You think, oh man, I'm hanging around the wrong group of friends. I need to change my scenery. I need to read more of these books. And you dabble in all of that, right? You try all that stuff, but it doesn't heal you. Because what's making you sick, you don't even believe in. And I'm not talking about actual sickness here. Again, these effects, I'm using Satan or the devil as the bacteria, right? Now, the effect he has on your life might not be sickness. It could be suicidal thoughts, self-defeating thoughts, bondage, addiction. It could be any of that. But again, this bacteria is making you sick, right? And you don't believe that it's because of the bacteria, and you can't find this answer, so you try to just numb the pain a little bit by doing drugs, drinking, just messing with whatever you can that'll take your mind off it temporarily. And it does. It feels good for a moment, but the smoke always clears, and that sickness is still there. And it's going to continue to remain there and affect your life, and you almost just get numb to it, and you just learn to live around that pain, right? You just kind of learn to live that maybe you're not worth it, or maybe you don't matter, or maybe you weren't meant to have happiness, right? Or maybe you're just meant to be addicted to this, and you just try and maneuver your life around that with like it's a new truth, when really all you need is that medicine to just wipe it out. But you can't, because you don't believe in it, okay? So that's the same thing with the devil and people that don't believe in him, or don't believe that there's a God, don't believe in a heaven, don't believe in a hell. So I think he's doing a really good job at gaining ground on people just off the fact that they don't believe in him. And just to clarify on that analogy, the medicine that I speak of is Jesus in a relationship with God. So a relationship with Jesus. God is Jesus, okay? And again, and I know I might say some things that might go over some of your guys' heads, or it might sound deep, and I try not to make these videos 2 hours long with me preaching and explaining every detail. I really just want to answer these questions, and especially when it's the spiritual stuff, I just want to plant seeds, and I hope that sparks something in you guys to find a good Bible-based church that you should be able to find by Googling. And the sad part is there are a few just flat out saying there's just some bad churches out there, but I would hope you could find one. You might have to go to more than one, but just find a good Bible-based church that can teach you some of these things that I've learned, and they can build upon these seeds that I'm planting. They can water, and you can grow in your relationship with God. And so I don't want to waste, it's not wasting, but I just don't want to take up too much time doing that when you really could go to church and get even deeper answers and stuff like that. Now, if the specific question is asked, I'll answer it. But again, I don't want to go too deep. I just want to plant these seeds, and you guys go to church. If you're just like, wait, what? Jesus is God, and you know what I mean? Just, what is this Holy Spirit? You know what I mean? Just get in church, get in the Word, and just start reading the Bible, and the seed that's planted will grow, okay? And again, if you have any follow-up questions with this stuff, guys, ask me. But the medicine is that relationship with Jesus. So, all right, so with it going back to this classic good versus evil, right? And I'm about to relate to a lot of people right here, I know, just from talking to people and even in my own life, and I just know this to be the truth. But a lot of people don't realize it's the way that it is. But some of you guys that have dealt with these self-defeating thoughts, and it doesn't have to have gone as far as suicide, but just the constant negative thoughts like, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, I'm not worthy, God doesn't love me, I'm all alone. If you think of anything to chime in, just throw your 2 cents in. But just all these negative thoughts, right? Or it's not gonna get better, this is the way it is. Just all these negative thoughts. They're so relentless, right? And it's almost as if someone is just hovering over you, and they're just sliding these thoughts in your head constantly, and you're just like, man, can I just get a moment of peace? But no, they're just constantly being thrown into your head, and and you have all these insecurities built up, and it's almost as if someone was following you around your whole life. They knew all your weaknesses, all your insecurities, and they know just when to plant these negative thoughts in, and you don't want to think them. You don't. I mean, who does? But it's literally almost like your hands are tied, you have no control, and you're constantly hit with this. And like I said, it's almost as if, here goes Mav on his fairy tale rant, right? It's almost as if someone was just there throwing these thoughts at you. And because that's the truth, you have this devil that's here, and he's not alone. We'll just say he has an army, right? He has an army, and their whole mission is to steal, kill, and destroy. And so if it feels like it's as if someone's throwing them thoughts at you constantly, and they know all your weaknesses, is because that's the truth. There's a whole battle that we see going on in the spiritual realm, and that's why I was stressing to you that the Bible isn't just a book. It's actual power, and it's a very spiritual book. And so that's the root of those negative thoughts. it's the devil, right? And so it's like, okay, Mav, I'm trying to grasp it. You say that there's this devil that's throwing these negative thoughts into my head and wants me to believe that I'm not. And really what he likes to do is he likes to contradict the word of God, which is the Bible. Dang it, where did that Bible go? I like to hold it up. Oh, all right. So in this Bible, right, God talks about a lot of things. He talks about why you are worth it, why you shouldn't kill yourself. He talks about how he has a plan for you. He has a job for you. And here's how you know. You're like, well, Mav, how do I know that God has a plan for me, though? Because you're alive. Everyone was created with a purpose, a unique purpose that only you can do. And some people wonder, like, why am I so confident in what that I do? And why am I so confident in the things that I do? It's because I know can't no one do the things that I was put on earth to do. You know what I mean? There's going to be similarities. There's going to be people that, are in the same field as me. And, you know what I mean? We're supposed to work together and whatnot. But for the things that I do and the way that I do it, I'm one of one. That's it. It's as simple as that. And God has me for a purpose that he needs me to do. And that's with you too. That's with everybody. And so he talks about how much he loves you and stuff like that. But of course, the devil's going to contradict that, and that's why you get those negative thoughts of, nah, you're not worth it. If you look at everything, all these negative thoughts you've been told, they're to kill, steal, or destroy you. To kill your joy, kill your happiness, kill your purpose, kill your life, literally. Steal the joy, happiness, all that. Destroy relationships, destroy your dreams, your passions. That's everything. That's everything that you go through is rooted in that. And so, and this is such a big topic. This might be one of the only ones. I'm already 17 minutes in. Have I rambled too much? Okay. You could be honest. I ain't rambled too much. Okay. And so, all right. So, man, there's this devil, right? And he's throwing these thoughts in my head. Okay. Well, how do I stop it? And then I'm going to get into my personal story, and then I'll share with Wifey a little bit. The answer and the victory, right, comes in Jesus. And again, I'm trying to just plant these seeds. Please go to church, and I can follow up with these questions. I just don't want to stay too long, but Jesus died for you to have victory, right? He died for you to have victory over these negative thoughts. And so this relationship with Jesus is your victory, okay? And once you really nurture this relationship and you get the truth, right? Because everything that's being told to you are lies. Everything about not being worthy, you should kill yourself, they're lies. And so you have the truth that contradicts, or that actually sheds the light on all of the lies. And you really get your identity in Christ. And once you have an identity, kind of like I talked about in a couple episodes ago when I was talking about mav-rik, just being a maverick. And that's the reason the negative thoughts and the suicidal thoughts never could take root in me, because I did get those thoughts. Even as an adult, there was times where it's like, man, you're not worthy. You're not doing a good job taking care of your family. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve this. And I had so many stresses and issues going on in my life. I've literally woken up and been like, man, if I just off myself, I don't have to worry about none of this no more. I've had those thoughts, but they're never able to take deep root, because I know who I am, and this Bible does a very good job of explaining that. And like I said, I know that I have that purpose, and I know that I was called to do things like reach some of you, like I'm doing now, and helping with issues. And so, and again, maybe you're not called to be on a stage and have thousands of subscribers and stuff like that, but whatever you're called to do, whether it's on a smaller level, a bigger level, it talks about like we're all part of the same body. And some of us are going to be the head, some will be the fingers, some will be the elbow. I don't necessarily know where I fit, but I mean, we're all working together, and every part is very important. So once you really have that identity that you're here for a reason, God loves you more than anyone else could ever love you, because he sent his son to die for you. And once you're rooted in that truth, those lies can't stick. All right. So and we can use that analogy for really anything, right? If you're in shape and you're not overweight, I can sit there and whisper in your head that, yeah, you fat, you old fat boy, right? But if you're in shape and you understand that you're in shape, you're not hearing that out, right? You have the truth, and the truth is the light, and the lies are the dark. And I mean, and if you've been around for any amount of time, you know what happens if you're in a dark room and you hit that light switch. When you bring some light into a dark situation, the dark always loses. The dark has no choice. It can't fight back, just like that bacteria. It wants to stay around. That darkness, those lies that were told you, it wants to stay around, right? But as soon as you flip that light switch in your life, which is that relationship with Jesus, that darkness has to go. It can't stay. You've never been in a room where it was dark, you turned on the light, and the dark stayed. The light's always gonna win. And that's the same in our personal lives. And again, whether it might not be the suicidal thoughts, it might not have gotten that far yet, but there is the victory, and the victory does come with the light, the truth, and that truth is the relationship with Jesus. And it's a very powerful thing, but it's something that God doesn't make you enter a relationship with him. He's not going to force you. It's something that you got to do. And I hope I'm planting enough seeds that you can, get yourself in the Bible, get into a church, and build that relationship. And I really urge you guys to try that. Anyone that's struggling with these thoughts, and I think you'll be amazed. I know I actually know of people. Actually, I do know of people that have given Jesus a try as like a last resort, right? Like, all this stuff. I mean, what's this Jesus nonsense that people talk about? All right, let me go to a church. Let me try this out. And their life was full 360. And so I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to ramble. I could ramble for another hour, but I want to let Wifey come in real quick. Come pop a seat. She'll share with you just her testimony, just the stuff that she went through. And she didn't even know I was going to put her on blast like this. So I hope you're prepared. If you didn't know how you're going to be prepared, shut up. So you see we're at 22 minutes in, so let's not try and go too long. Try and be quick. But just let them know what you went through and, where you're at now and stuff like that.
Okay.
You good? All right, sorry for putting you on the spot.
Hello, people. So suicidal thoughts are a really real thing. Everything that Mav said was really, really good. Actually, having a good support system when you're going through those kinds of things is really important, and that was an issue for me. I lost a lot of people that were really close to me at a really difficult time in my life. Felt like I didn't have a way out. I have really low self-esteem. I struggle with that. So it took me a long time, a lot of prayer, and really trying to get into my Bible, because I grew up in a family that was split with my my dad. I grew up with my dad all the time, and he's not really big church goer or anything like that. My mom's a complete opposite. She's praise team leader and all this stuff, like at church every week. So I went from living with my dad, growing up with him, and then he got locked up, so I had to go live with my mom, and it was like two completely different worlds on dealing with things. So losing my dad, at such a critical time, me going right into high school, it sucked. I was like, gosh, I don't want to live here. I don't want to be out here. I miss my dad. My mom's not going to understand me. I got to start at this new school. I miss my friends, and it's just lame. I had a lot of girls that had a lot to say when I was in high school, and I felt like, what was the point? Like, why be here? What for? And the more I stopped resisting the things my mom was trying to show me and going to church every week and really listening to what was going on and whatnot, the more I started to see that change in being real. This guy right here, God used in a major, major way to change my life. And the honest to God truth, I wouldn't be sitting here right now without God, without going to church, without praying, without him putting Dion in my life. Even before we were a couple, when we were just best friends, having that person to confide in and, that shares my faith and, that could understand me and kind of meet me halfway made all the difference in the world. So I know he said he's going to put that hotline number down there, but I encourage you, even if you struggle with talking to people like I did, that was hard for me. I write. I like poetry. I write journal entries just to get those feelings out and out of your head, because then you become this crazy cluster of sadness and you don't want to do that. So I just encourage you to reach out to people, find a church if you're not in one, get involved if you are at church. Just place that energy and fill yourself around more positive influences so that you're not in that negative space and you can start to see some changes in your life. So I'm praying for all of you. Love you. God bless.
Good stuff. Good stuff right there. To be honest, I didn't hear most of what she said, but I know she gave me a compliment, so that's good there. And then she's full of wisdom as well too, so I'm sure she blessed y'all. And two thoughts I had while she was speaking, I'm gonna wrap it up. Maybe I might get to another question or two in this video, but I'll wrap up this suicidal issue. I know I kind of talked about, and again, it's very important that you get into a church and stuff like that, but kind of wanted to give you just a little bit more. I had two thoughts. I lost one of them. Oh, okay, I got them back. So the first one is you guys got to realize that God is bigger than any issue that you have. Nothing is bigger than him. So you have some issues that you're going through right now. You're like, man, I'm being bullied. I'll have that coming up in a video soon. Or you just had, whatever it may be. My parents are getting divorced. I lost my job. I don't know how I'm gonna feed my kids. I'm struggling. All these different things, and they can seem so big, right? But when you place them at the feet of God, they're so small. If you just walk outside, look around, think of someone that was able to create everything that you see, the mountains, the clouds, the stars. What is a little self-esteem issue to him? It's something so simple to fix. You just have to allow him to do that. And that helps me out a lot, because I'll see my issues and I'll just be like, wow. And it'll be more of them. Like, if I were to just like close my eyes, I would just see issue. It's like they almost surround me. And I just have to like visualize myself backing up, getting all of them in front of me, and then putting them in their right size. Almost like on your computer, like how you can resize something, you drag it. I gotta drag it to its proper perspective when I give it to God. Alright? Yeah, the Bible talks about casting your cares on God because he cares for you. So it's just like, alright, this issue I have, Lord, with these negative thoughts, I'm gonna go ahead and throw those to you and then allow him to fix me. And it's such a beautiful thing, and I also wanted to say that the importance of guarding your mind. A lot of us have a lot of issues because we're consuming the wrong things, guys. Your mind is very, very fragile, very sensitive, and you need to watch what you're feeding it. That's why these few negative thoughts that the enemy might throw at you can send you into this suicidal spiral. You also need to make sure you're feeding yourself with the right types of things, feeding yourself with, the Word of God, the Bible, listening to sermons, listening to positive things. And even in your entertainment, everything that I listen to, everything that I consume isn't Christian, right? I don't just watch Christian TV shows, but I just make sure I stay away from the negative stuff and the stuff that's going to have my mind shaping to the negativity of this world, right? So just make sure you're getting some positivity. Be careful with the music that you're putting into yourself, just the TV, all of that stuff, the sites, the websites that you're going to. And again, that kind of goes into why I did my best to try and clean up my content, just because I wanted to be more of a positive light, not feeding people with negative stuff. So that's it, man. If you have any issues or any input on this issue, please weigh in the comment section. You think we did a good enough job? I'm always worried with that. I worry about it, but I know God's gonna do the work at the end of the day. So I hope I was able to help someone that's in that circumstance. Just so that's not the only question, let me see if there is a couple more short ones. Yes, my man Jose said, Mav, do you have a Twitch account so that I can watch you stream? Yes, I do. It's mav-rik, the same as my YouTube name. It's just twitch.tv/mav-rik. The link should be down in the description. Good question. Battlefield from Jason. Hey Mav, I was looking at your YouTube channel and I saw you played Battlefield. Battlefield is one of my favorite games, and I was wondering if you could do another video on Battlefield 4. Not on Battlefield 4, but I will be getting the new one. What's it called? Hardline, I think. I'll be picking that one up for sure. iMav Mondays is the title. How did you and your wife meet? We met in a digital communications class my junior year, her senior year. That's right, she was a senior. I'm a pimp. And yeah, that's how we met. And we became really good friends. Now we have babies. And you know how them never mind. Shout out to Lucas, gave me a shout out or some kind words. I appreciate that. I think we're good. Question from Justin: what made you get into the whole YouTube world of posting videos about video games? I addressed that in a previous episode. I don't know. I think you'd have to look at the titles, but it might have been episode 2 or 3, I believe. I think I got 2 more short ones and we'll wrap it up. Andre, bruh, first of all, I respect your hustle, like straight up. I'm from Germany, and I just wanted to ask if you've ever been to Germany and what you know about it. Hope you can answer that. God first, God bless. Sent from an iPhone. Shout out to them Germans. I have never been to Germany. I know y'all make Volvos, right? Don't y'all? Don't they? You don't know? I'm pretty sure Germans make Volvos. But my mom spent a lot of time in Germany. My dad was in the military, and they were stationed out there for a little bit. So my mom knows, like, I don't think she speaks German. She knows, like, German words, though.
She can count.
She can count in German?
My dad can count in German.
Yeah?
I can count to 3.
Okay. See, wifey can count to 3 in German. But that's all I know, man. But I do love my German folks, German followers. And then that's where we're going to end it. Oh, my man Jack has a good question. Hey Mav, my name is Jack. What up, Jack? Here's my question. If you had a choice to go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Somewhere probably like the Bahamas, and I really wanted to go there before because one of my biggest spiritual mentors, Miles Monroe, has a church there. He recently died earlier this week, and I legit almost cried. My wife was there when I got the news. That floored me. I have a good 4 of his books next to me right now. I've probably watched and listened to, no lie, at least 75 of his different sermons that are online, and that hurt. I was like, and I've never met him in my life, and that's kind of stuff I talked about last video, like the relationships that you can just build from following someone and just on the internet. That was my dude. When I saw him in person, I was gonna be like, yo, Miles, what's good, bruh? And he was gonna be like, I don't know you, but what's up? And I was gonna hug him, I was gonna high five him, and I'm rambling, but yeah, probably the Bahamas, cause I want to go on like a vacation that's like real beachy and like watery, and I just sit like this next to the water. Wifey tried to throw in her 2 cents of hate and said I can't swim, but I kind of can swim now. I've learned to doggy paddle, so the disrespect won't be tolerated anymore. Matter of fact, apologize to me. I can kind of swim, y'all. Don't get it twisted.
We can survive.
Do you have a where would you want to go? If you could pick anyone. Bahamas. It's us, Bahamas and the Atlantis. So for those of y'all that are following us and we finally achieve that, y'all will be happy for us. Y'all will be happy for us. Dylan asked, what made you become a YouTuber? That has been answered. Oh, wow. This is the last question. Thomas, I laughed when I heard this question. And I want you to watch Wifey as I read this question. Have you ever peed in a sink? My dad did it once at a public. Go away. Go back to the couch. You're not welcome to speak here. My dad did it once at a public place, so I did it at home as a little kid. Is that normal for a little kid to do? I don't see the issue. I don't see the issue. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Can we get real for a second? Do you know how many gallons of water is wasted when you flush the toilet? That's what happens. You heard the saying, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Because if you flush the toilet every time you pee, you're wasting a lot of water. So sometimes if you just go into the sink real quick, turn it on, it's good. I've done this like once or twice in my life. They can't hear you. They can't.
Are we serious?
Hold on. I'm. I've done it like twice in my life. No. All right. Y'all be eating. Stop! Ah! Okay, wait, I'm gonna tell him myself. I gotta tell him myself, yo. It was one time. Okay, look. Alright. I'm more about what's most effective in life, right? So I'm all stop! Let me say it. Got me crying, I'm laughing so hard. I'm all about efficiency, right? So sometimes, and this is in the past, we're talking like 10 years ago. I don't do this no more. Stop. Don't talk. Oh man. So this is a funny story though, and I gotta end the video on this. So in my past, right, in the dark past before I became Jesus entered my life, right, and we were married, I was peeing in the sink one time, right? She caught me. She got pissed off. She was like, yo, don't say nothing. Just let me tell it how I want to tell it.
And then I'll tell
No, you can't.
And then I'll tell.
I'm gonna mute her every time she starts speaking. But anyway, so she caught me. She was like, bro, why you do that? Like, help me understand. And I'm all about business and efficiency. So I was like, and I explained it to her, but she wasn't rapping it because she don't got that. I muted you. Stop! I was peeing in my sink when I got caught, right? And then so there was a time we got into some sort of beef. Like, she was mad at me for something. So she was like legit mad at me. A little argument, right? So I just went in the bathroom. And we had like dual sinks, right? So his and her sinks. And I didn't consciously do it. I didn't. No, for real.
Do I need to vlog our
No.
bathroom?
No.
Our bathroom is cute.
No, but for real, there was something like there was something going on with that sink. For real. Hers is closer to the door. So we're really talking efficiency. Mine is on the other end. So she walked in and I was peeing in her sink. And she was, think about, she's already like, not like a play fight, like a legit married couple, right? Issue. Nothing big, but like angry, right? And like, all right, well, all right, angry, doing our own thing. She walks in the bathroom angry, and I'm just like, and she storms out, yo, and I lose it. I wasn't angry about nothing no more. Stop! Blah, blah, blah. I didn't do it out of spite. I didn't do it out of spite.
She wants to be mad. I'm just gonna pee in her sink.
It wasn't out of spite. I didn't pee in your. I didn't
like
pee in your.
dummy.
I didn't pee in your sink on purpose, yo.
Might be normal for little kids, but not for grown men.
I would
And
say.
that was since we've lived here. So with this
What are you talking about? No! 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 Don't listen to her lies, y'all. That was in my past, yo. Stop! Can you leave? Okay, this is your last episode. I hope you enjoy it. You just got exiled from the episodes. You'll never be back. You'll never be back. So you went out with a bang. Hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, that was in my past. That was like, I can't even remember. That was so long ago. But so my answer to the question is, I would think is perfectly normal. Because you're probably destined to do great things because you think efficiency. And I think I can see you going on to building like the next Google. I really can. Because he pees in the sink, yeah. Yeah. So I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Share this with someone. And going back to the serious note, I hope this was able to help people. And share it with someone that you think might be dealing with any kind of suicidal thoughts. Hotlines in the description. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy. If you have any questions, concerns, issues, reach imav@gmail.com. Even if you have questions for wifey, you can just title them with the subject wifey. We'll probably get her in on some of them. And like I said, anyone else that you know that I interact with and you want questions maybe answered with them, leave that in the titles. Y'all be easy. Question of the day. I didn't do it in this video. Because I had a time where the first video I was doing. This might be, I don't know, but we had an issue with our daughter, so I stopped it. So if I already asked this, sorry. But I want to know, question of the day. Let's go serious for this, actually. Have you ever dealt with suicidal thoughts? Or can you relate? Have you ever had any self-defeating thoughts? So any type of thoughts that were just going against you, just negative, like a point in your life where you were just overwhelmed with negativity and it's almost like you couldn't clear your mind. How do you phrase that question? Self-defeating. Yeah, okay. Have you ever struggled with any self-defeating thoughts? And how did you overcome it? Question of the day. Thank you guys for your support. Love y'all. Till next time. I don't pee in the sink. God first. God bless.